Hey guys, this is KSK Bushcrafter here, and I got a video for you guys. This is going to be a review of the X-Dragon solar charger. So this charger here comes in many different versions, many different wattages. This is the 20 watt X-Dragon solar charger, and this thing is great for camping and all that. But today what we're going to do is we're going to do a test, and then once we're done the test, to show you guys that this thing does work, I'll go over the specs a little bit more and the features. So for the test, what we're going to do is I'm just going to lay it out flat here. Nice sunny day, a few clouds in the sky, so it's not going to be perfect weather, but it should be good enough for testing purposes here. This is like your average summer day, some cloud cover, but still quite bright at times. So we're going to test it out. What we got to test it out with is in the back here, there's a charging port. There's a little LED light on the back, which I'll show you. I'll get into all those features later, but you just plug it in. I've got one of my best cables here. This is an Anchor power cable. It's a tough cable. It's got three different adjustments, or three different types of connectors. We're just going to go ahead and plug that in into the USB 3.0 fast charging port. This is the fastest one. There's two ports on these. I'll go into that later though. And what we have here is a Black Web. It's a Walmart brand battery charger. It's actually quite good quality. On the back there's a display that shows you the battery percentage. Now, given the brightness right now, it'd be kind of hard for you guys to see. It's already a dim display screen as is, but I'll try anyway. So right there's a 70% sign, so it's 70% full. It's a 1200 milliamp battery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this in, and we're going to see how much of a charge this thing gets in 1 hour. 1 hour, I'll come back on. I'm going to set a timer on my phone, and I'll come back in an hour and I'll let you guys know how it did. And there we go. It's about midday, so that's going to get to charging. I'm going to head inside and I'll catch you guys in a few. Alright, so it's been about an hour, probably give or take a couple minutes, and we're gonna go ahead, unplug the charger, and the battery percentage sign is saying 79, so 79%. Probably can't see it too well, if at all. Yeah, so now we just got to calculate how much of an increase that is. Roughly an hour. I think it's a little bit less than an hour now. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to pull up a calculator on my phone here, and so that's a 9% increase. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that to decimal form, so it'll be 0.09%, right? And then we multiply that by the total capacity of the battery pack, which is 1200. So we'll do 1200, and so that means that in about an hour we got 1800 milliamp increase on the battery pack. So that's how much charge we got onto there. So that would be good for probably about, half a phone battery nowadays, which in my opinion, for about an hour, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more. If it is at all, it's going to be a few minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. I didn't really log the time too well, but anyway, point is though, is that this is definitely a worthy option for, say, charging your electronics on the go. If you had this, say, hanging up on a tree or something like that, you could definitely get after a full days of charging with this thing, you could definitely charge probably multiple phones, probably 2 or 3 phones in 1 8-hour period. No problem, no issues. So I guess that's about it for just showing you that this thing does work, and it's effective. It's good quality. It'll work for you. It'll charge your electronics. And we'll get into the specs now. So I went over the percentage increase. We got a 9% percentage increase. So again, that was about 1000 milliamps. And this thing, it's temperature resistant. It's dust proof and it's waterproof, so like even just touching this is super hot. I mean, it's all black. That's on purpose. That's to attract the sunlight. It's also dust proof. Now I assume though that if you were to get dust into the ports here, you'd have to take an air can or something and blow them out. It's also water resistant. They say waterproof. I didn't find any sort of rating. It's like industrial standard rating for water resistance or dust resistance, but I'll take their word for it, as it's mostly just plastic canvas with the solar panels. Obviously, are going to be water resistant. These won't absorb water. I'll take their word for it. Now, should you go dunking this into a lake? Probably not. I wouldn't advise that you do that. So the folded size is 12.1 inches by 17.2 inches by 0.51 inches. The unfolded size is 23.3 inches by 12.1 inches by 0.12 inches. So this is definitely something that you can fold up and put into a pack. It won't take up too much room. Now, if you're a lightweight camper, the weight might put you off because it weighs in at 21.9 ounces. So that's not super heavy. I mean, it's not crazy heavy or anything, but that is something that if you're a lightweight camper that you'll probably want to consider. Also, the chargers here. Earlier, I stated that one of them is a 5 volt. No, they're both 5 volt charging capacity at 2 amps. So that's good enough that you could probably charge multiple battery packs with amperage like that. And so now I'm going to go into more of the stuff that's not easily found online, that you sort of have to see in person. So one of the things, you obviously have this pouch here that you can hold. I store extra cables in here. When I'm out camping, I'll bring the battery pack and I'll put it in here, and that just gets stowed away inside here along with the cables. It just makes it easier for me when I'm setting it up. Everything that goes with this setup is already together. Anything that I need to charge my electronics is already here. So depending if I bring my camera, if I bring my phone, if I bring GPS, all that, all the different cables, they can go in here, and I can store them away in here. It's also got an LED. So right there's an LED. So if it's charging, there's a little LED here that'll light up. If I were to fold out some of the panels, you'll probably be able to see that light up there. So another thing that's kind of like about that, a big beetle right there. But anyway, it's got reflective coating or reflective fabric right in between here. That's really going to be handy. Say you hang this thing up in the evening or in the morning, you go out hiking, you don't come back till nightfall or something to your campsite. It'll be nice because then you can go and easily locate this with a flashlight. It's also got the same thing on the back here, so if it's folded up and say you just happen to leave it on the ground somewhere, as long as it's not this side down, if it's this side down, you'll still be able to find your solar charger. Also came with 2 hooks here, 2 carabiners, and loops. There's loops here on the top, loops on the sides. There's also a loop here. So personally, I guess that top loop is if you wanted to hang it like this, and then there's also the side loops. Now, also came with these carabiners, and what you can do is you could hang this up to your pack. So you could have your pack, and this could hang on the back of your pack while you're hiking, and charge that way. So sort of hang over the side, the top of your pack. Now it'll get you some charge while you're hiking. And depending how long the hike is, that might be all you need. Because I doubt people are going to be twiddling away at their phones the entire time. Maybe if you're taking photos, but still. This will offer plenty of power for multiple devices over an extended period of time, depending obviously on how often you're using your. So I think that's about really it for the review of this thing. I recommend it 100%. It works 10 times better than any of those battery packs that have built-in solar panels. I've tried those before, and they're all terrible. I had 2 of the same brand. I think they were Top something. Anyway, some Chinese brand. I didn't like them. They didn't work for me. But this right here is excellent. One last thing I'd like to add. to use a battery pack with this, because if you are charging your electronics with only this, what's going to happen is say there's a heavy cloud cover or some shade as you're hiking, your phone will do the on-off basically charging notification over and over again, which could drain your battery quite a bit. I've seen people complain about that, but the easiest thing you can do is just to pick up a battery pack, and this will charge intermittently whenever there is some sunlight hitting the panel. So now I think that's about it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Definitely take a look at picking up an X-Dragon. I recommend them highly.